I'm Sarah Knight and welcome to It's Got Pockets, where just like finding the surprise pockets in your favourite trousers, I'm bringing you perfect pockets of joy and realness. Every week I'm having unfiltered conversations with women who crack the feck on, even when life gets proper lifey. Women with experience, expertise and wisdom. Because sometimes the best stories start in the middle. Women who've been there, done that, and they're still figuring it out. Join me for real talk, useful tactics, and all the swears in between that make your life and business feel that bit more manageable. Well, hello. I'm feeling a little bit ranty today for this episode of It's Got Pockets. When I say a little bit ranty, I mean a lot ranty. I've had my fill of shoulds this week. We should be doing this. We should be doing that. We should be getting up at 5 a.m. to nail the day. We should be doing our vision boards for the next 5 years. I mean, who actually knows where they're going in the next 5 years? Most women I work with, whether they're looking at how they manage, build, scale, thrive, cope, can't imagine the next year, let alone the next 5 years. I think one of the things that hits as you get older is that there's always a flex, there's always a plot twist, there's always something that happens that that plan, if we've even got a plan, might need 101 different variations to the plan. I mean, who plans for the plan and then plans for the what ifs of the plan? I mean, we all do it, don't we? We're all planning for all the plans. And then what happens if the plan might go wrong? So then sometimes, why are we putting ourselves under this pressure to have a 5-year goal or a 10-year goal? Someone asked me the other day when I'm planning to retire. I have no idea. When I win the lottery, I can't even tell you when I'm going to pay my mortgage off. I don't have that sort of plan. When I work with women and I'm coaching women, quite often they find having the pressure to come up with a goal really scary because it then brings into that fear of failure. Well, what happens if I don't make the plan? So I'm a bit bloody sick of this striving culture, this culture where we've always got to go for something or have something at the end of it. You know, what about now? What about what we're doing right now, where our feet are, and what we're doing today to be intentional? The hustle culture. I mean, it's just making my piss boil. Boils my piss, as the saying goes. The obsession of ridiculous goals. Yes, I am very ranty, aren't I? Maybe I've had a little bit too much sun. Been a bit sunshiny today. Had my shorts on. Been writing this podcast in the garden in my bra because, I couldn't even be arsed trying to put a bikini on. A bikini. Who wears a bikini? I'm 52. It's swimming costumes all the way now. So this today is my call to arms. My call to arms to you to join my anti-goal commandments about where we actually want to place our focus. These are the anti-goal commandments for women of a certain age. We've heard them all. We've heard all these things that we're told all the time. How to manifest 1 million by next Friday. I'm mainly manifesting being able to drink a hot cup of coffee or for someone to take the bloody stuff upstairs. If you're scaling, you're failing. Failing at what? Someone else's bloody idea of success. I've had enough of that. I'm not bothered about what everybody else is doing. I want to be able to do what I'm doing, where I'm choosing to place my focus. Join my 6 figures in 6 weeks program. Utterly boils my piss. I've seen more value in the middle aisle of Aldi. And don't even get me started about running a business in Bali while sipping a sangria on a swing and still making 1 million. Crock of shit. And then there's the boss babe energy here. Let's take a moment. Boss babe, queen. Oh my bloody hell. I struggle with all these stupid titles women are giving themselves and giving other women. Boss babe energy. Who even really says that? And I'm just going to put that in the bin along with slaying anything, which probably leads me into one of the things that I hate most than anything. Yes, I'm going to say it. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. Hustle harder. We just need to hustle harder. It's like the other phrase that I hated when I was growing up in business is we need to work smarter. Oh, do fuck off, Doris. What do you mean work smarter? When did the hustle culture become so associated with success and why? I don't want to hustle anything. The word hustle means to push roughly, jostle, or obtain illicitly, or by forceful action. Who the bloody hell wants to do business like that? And if you do, Hustle off, Cyril. And that brings me neatly onto side hustles. Women talking about their business being a side hustle. Stop it. Stop it right now. Yes, I am being a bit preachy and I am being a bit ranty, but really, it's either a business or it's a hobby. There's no side hustle. There's no side business. Ever heard a man talk about his business as a side hustle? No, Doris, you have not. Because a business is business with money to be made. We've got a side hustle. We've got a business where we want to make money. That's what we're doing it for. Let's be real. We've got purpose within it. We've got passion within it. We care within it, but we're doing it to make money. There's a commercial element to it. Let's step proudly into the fact that we're running businesses, no matter how small they are, no matter how many people are in that business, no matter how long you do it for. Let's not call it side hustle anymore. And then there's that whole you have to be high vibe to attract success. Oh, do one. I can attract success. Can I really? Can you really attract success? Can you? You can go out there and you can get it. Am I going to attract it by being high vibe? Get in the bin. And then the final one that has been boiling my little potatoes today is this one mindset shift will change your life. It's also called stop buying this shit. It's never just one thing. There's never just one shift. There's lots of little actions and habits that we need to put in place. When we're investing in our mindset of how we do things differently, it's inner work. And that's a series of work, and it's consistent work over a period of time. It's not one thing. Do I need to stop ranting yet? No, I'm going to go. I'm going to go with it. This is my call to arms to us all, that we're going to do things a little bit differently. We're going to do the opposite of hustle. Deliberate. No jostling for position, because there's no positions to compete for. There's no pushing roughly. Maybe we can gently challenge ourselves. So we need an anti-hustle gospel, because so many of us are really not asked about making 10 gazillion quid in 10 minutes. I mean, I'm not saying that money isn't important, because seriously, I need to pay my mortgage and I want to go on really nice holidays. And actually, I'd like to buy really nice things as well. But so many of us are simply craving peace, from stepping away from the noise and wanting to know where to place our focus, where to place our energy, to get joy and peace and purpose, where we can be really intentional. So let's start. Number one is obviously, thou shalt not hustle. Thou shalt not hustle harder. In fact, thou shalt not hustle at all, because hustling anything is fucking stupid. We're not in some Brit gangster movie. Number two, thou shalt not should anything. When you say, I should be doing more, being further along, feeling grateful, what you're ultimately doing is you're sending a message to your brain that you're failing to meet a standard, even if that standard is something that you've not consciously chosen. If you're spending your days and your weeks thinking about all the things you should be shoulding, you're placing a whole heap of expectation on yourself, and it triggers your threat response. It really does. And that threat response can trigger increased cortisol, which is your stress hormone, negative self-talk loops, your freeze or fawn responses, you know the ones, I'll just stay stuck, the people-pleasing, the procrastinating. Your brain literally starts treating the should as danger, even if it's emotional and not physical. When we're in that constant cycle of I should, I haven't, I must, that's why we feel overwhelmed, foggy, emotionally all over the place, because we're operating under internalized judgment. I mean, as if there's not enough judgment on ourselves, but really, we're the worst judges, aren't we? We're the worst judges of ourselves. And we're not operating with intentional clarity. Every time you should yourself, you're reinforcing a narrative of lack. I should be more confident. What you're actually reinforcing is I'm not confident. I should have had this all figured out by now. What you're reinforcing is, oh, actually, I'm behind. We need to think about the narrative that we're using with our brain, because over time, this strengthens our neural pathways around shame, comparison, unworthiness, not growth, not the stuff that makes us feel brilliant. And it becomes a repeating identity loop that limits what you believe is possible for you. So the word should is ultimately a stealth saboteur. It triggers your brain's that threat response system. It drains your cognitive clarity. It reinforces unhelpful limiting beliefs. It undermines your autonomy. It clogs your energy with guilt and indecision. Here's what we Oh, nearly said it. No, I did that on purpose, really. What we need to do is we need to rewrite the word should with choose, with want, with maybe with a little bit of need, but needs are very close to shoulds. Our chooses, our choices, and our wants are really important. This puts our power back into our own hands and switches our brain from survival mode into self-leadership. Boom. This is how we create our inner edge. So in my anti-hustle commandments, what do you choose? Whether you're business owning, working in business, decision making, creating the life you want, what are you choosing? You do not need to put shoulds all over yourself to move forward. You need to take them out, get rid of them. Thou shalt not call thyself boss babe, ever, or girl boss. And I would also extend that to referring to yourself as bossing it. You're a grown-ass woman, running a business, working in business, holding the sky up. This, in my book of commandments, also includes words like queenager, guru, and any other stupid bastard name that women have given other women running a business. Let's stop minimising who we are and how we show up. I can't ever see a man referring to himself as boss fox or hench boss. Can you imagine? We're not in year 9, people. Now, my only caveat to this is if you're using these terms to make your kids squirm and cringe, especially if they're with their friends, then it's all out boss babe, this bitch is gonna slay in it, Kay. I have no idea what I said just then, but I know that if my kids are listening to this, they'll be really cringing right now. Thou shalt ignore any guru telling you to make $1 million by Friday. Thou shalt ignore any donkey telling you they have a secret recipe to nail your success. Crock of shit. I've been running my own business 23 years, and if there is a secret recipe, believe me, I would have found it. There's not much us women can't find out. So if you've not found that secret recipe to anything, it's because there isn't bloody one. It's about what we do. It's about how we show up. It's about how we build the life, the leadership, the businesses we want to build that feels good. Slow mornings, space to think, holidays that aren't content opportunities. I've never been as disappointed in my life as I was when I went to Bali. And I went to Bali on my honeymoon, and it was just a mass of people taking selfies and Instagram hits. And here's a picture of me by a waterfall, and here's a picture of me on a swing that says love. We need to just stop all that shit. Thou shalt not wake at 5 a.m. unless your bladder or the dog demands it. I did say the dog. Sleep is strategy, and anyone else telling you anything else needs to get in the bin. Science tells us how important sleep is for our mental and physical capacity, and us women of a certain age are getting less of it than anyone else. Midlife women, Gen X women, are one of the most sleep-deprived demographics. And it's not just because of our hormone shifts and our hot flushes, although they definitely do not help, and the itchy skin and that itchy inner ear and the mouth ulcers and the increased allergies and all those other things. It's also because of cognitive load and mental overwhelm. Because even when that house is still, your brain is definitely not. Us midlife women carry the invisible admin of family life, that whole hello sandwich generation, our elder care responsibilities. I'm right bang in the middle of that at the moment. Leadership roles, whether it's in our own businesses or we're working in businesses. And then, of course, we've got that whole emotional labour of holding everything together, holding the sky up, fixing everything, constantly scanning for danger. Our brain doesn't shut off easily when you're the unofficial CEO of everyone else's life, not just your own. And this contributes to what's called, I'm loving this term, cognitive arousal. Yes, The brain is on high alert long after the day is done. And I can confirm that's definitely the only arousal that's going on for me these days. Husband's going to love me saying that, isn't he? Chronic stress in midlife increases cortisol. This often peaks around 2 to 4 a.m. Hello, coffee at 3 a.m. Maybe that's when I should have my coaching circles, and maybe that's when I should have my business club, which is why so many of us report waking early in the hours and struggling to fall back to sleep. It's not just stress, it's physiological. Our nervous systems are cycling between fight and flight and please just fucking rest mode. So sleep as much as you can. Don't put yourself under any pressure to wake up at bloody 5 o'clock in the morning to rule the world. You're not going to rule the world. You're just going to be fucking knackered. Thou shalt not apologise for running your business, your life, in leggings with greasy hair, 4 days' worth of dry shampoo, and last night's mascara. Or in my case, last night's mascara that you've half rubbed off one eye and is possibly down your cheek. Thou shalt not also apologise for wearing your favourite outfit every single day until it falls off you. Thou shalt not apologise for wearing fabulous clothes that make you feel good from the inside out, and maybe wearing them to hang the washing out, put the bins out, walk down the high street, as well as do the meetings and your power moves. Thou shalt not apologise. Thou shalt block, mute, delete, or dead-eye stare any bugger trying to sell you a high-vibe shortcut to success, whether in life, leadership, or business. I was going to say you are the vibe, but I'd have to put myself in the bin, because vibe, what the actual? Can we just let the word vibe die in peace along with girl boss and maybe also skinny jeans with no stretch and shorts that are really tight on the thighs and high-rise shorts that give you a little bit of a camel toe? Can we just find some really good old school shorts? You know, like the Gap shorts that we used to have that, well, I think they were called boyfriend shorts. Stupid name. Where they were like wide on the thighs and like just fit normally, like mid-rise. Can someone find those for me, please? Because I really want a new pair and my old Gap ones have died and I need a new pair like that. And I don't want mom shorts or dad shorts or long shorts or short shorts. I just want some proper shorts that, you know, cover my inner thigh bit, are turn-ups and have a gap around my thigh. So if you could find those for me, that'd be brilliant. Anyway, back to the power of peace and killing the word vibe. When I talk to women of a certain age, when I work with women of a certain age, I ask them what they want, and peace is always, always one of the top answers. How are you finding your peace? And that's about knowing where we want to place our energy, where we want to place our fucks. Because we do have fucks to give. It's not that we've got 0 fucks to give anymore. It's just that we need to place them in the environments where it's going to count, not where we should place them. We've only got so many a day, and we don't need to be spending them on energy drains and the stuff that's just not serving us. So, thou shalt place thy fucks carefully. On the work that makes us feel alive, on the clients that respect our time, on the ideas that have been tapping on your shoulder for all the years while you've been too busy holding the sky up for every other bugger. Now is your time, like right now. What's that idea? What do you want to do? Do it. How do you start it? I'm no longer going to collect people's expectations like loyalty points from say no's. Obviously, it used to be boots. They were the amber nectar of loyalty points, but I've lost my boots card. And now I like to think like I can shop in say no's every time. You know, if you're from the south, it's Sainsbury's, darling. That's where I get my nectar points. I always feel a little bit smug when I go boop, boop, and I've scanned my nectar points. I am looking for peace and nectar points. And this brings me on to this whole feel the fear and do it anyway nonsense. Thou shalt not feel the fear and do it anyway. You do not need to leap off cliffs to prove that you're growing, that you're owning stuff, that you're doing stuff, that you have purpose. You're allowed to feel mildly uncomfortable. So when I talk about how we feel and mildly uncomfortable, you know, it's like when you put on a pair of new knickers. Now I'm talking like really good new Marks and Spencer's knickers, and they're just not as comfy as your apple gatherers. But you know you need to sit in them for a bit. but there's no need to be wearing thongs. I know some of you like thongs. I mean, who are you? Really? Anyway, I'm going down on a knicker rant, and we're not on a knicker rant. We're on about not feeling the fear, because there's a lot of science behind that. We do not need to jump out of our comfort zones. When we work within our strengths, within what feels easy, we fly. We do it in our own time, in our own way, with our own thought process behind it, with our own skills, with our neural pathways firing up. Growth, personal and professional, does not require suffering. Let's put that in the bin. It's something that has sort of moved with us as we've grown up in business, and it's bollocks. Growth requires alignment. When we work in our strength zone, not our stress zone, we're far more likely to perform at our best and enjoy the ride. According to research in the strengths theory, using our natural strengths daily leads to high performance, increased well-being, greater resilience, and, you've guessed it, more energy and less burnout. I mean, hello, why wouldn't we want to do that a little bit more? Because when we're doing what feels natural, not forced, we enter a state of flow. When we're doing what feels natural, our systems, our brains are firing up, and we've got the cognitive bandwidth to work it out. We're not avoiding challenge, we're just not making it harder than it needs to be. We don't need to do it like her. We don't need to side eye. We need to do what works for us. We need to work out within our systems what feels easy, because when it feels easy, we need to do more of it, because that's how we build our businesses. That's how we build our lives. That's how we create the lives that we want. We need to be able to choose what we want to do from a place of clarity, not chaos. So what have I missed? What else needs to go into our anti-goal commandments? Let me know. I'd love to have loads of them. What should we not be doing? Oh, I said should. Yeah, let's take that one right out of there straight away. But here's the thing about anti-goals. Sometimes it's easier to work out what we don't want and flip it. Anti-goals help us figure out what we really want, where we're going, and how we're going to place our focus and find our fire. I'll see you next time. Take care. As we button up another episode of It's Got Pockets, remember that just like that perfect dress with hidden storage, you've got pockets of potential. You can be exactly who you are meant to be with no one getting in your way, not even yourself. Just remember, you're not done yet. That plan B or plan C might be waiting for you. If you've enjoyed this episode and would like to work with me, or simply want to connect, come and find me at sarahknightconsultancy.co.uk. On Instagram, I'm Ministry of Midlife, or on LinkedIn, you'll find me as Knighty S. See you next time.